Hi, my name is Robin, and I am a behavior and communications specialist with over 20 years in the leadership and development industry, starting my career with Walt Disney World and Universal Studios Orlando before branching out on my own. I teach individuals and teams how to communicate better because you know what? The golden rule doesn't work. You can't treat others the way that you want to be treated. You have to treat others the way that they need to be treated. Is it even possible to know how everybody around you wants to be treated? Yes, it actually is.
Solution diagnostics.
It has nothing to do with skill set. It has nothing to do with good or bad. There's no better result. And everything to do with just nobody knows the how. That's just a life in the entrepreneurial world. Nobody knows the how. You just figure it out. What you want to say and what you have to say matters, but how you say it is what makes it matter to others. We're there to support abuse survivors. 6 out of 20 at a college social impact fair. What does that say? It says we have work to do. So we're going to figure out how we can work on this in our own way too. Nobody's going to judge you. Nobody's going to say you're doing something wrong. You're going to figure out how you can do it by getting out of your own way. So our goal here is we want to keep them in their genius. So we want them to win, to be questioned or to look stupid in front of other people. So if you know that about your team, then you're able to bring out the best in them. You would let them know, we're having a meeting on Friday. We are talking about this topic and we need ideas. Bring your ideas to the table. If you don't have that time frame to give them a whole heads up, then you also allow, I know DJ, you don't love giving ideas, but I know you have a lot of ideas. So let me know by tomorrow at noon. Let me know by Monday. So you get to work with their natural behavior styles so you don't keep them in a sense of stress or flight or fight. They get to be on their best, on their time frame, even if it's a limited time frame. So knowing that about each other is what brings out the best in each other, and that's the whole goal.
How we respond in situations and how to use our strengths.
Is key. And so one of the things we talk about a lot is effective communication and the ability to fail and not be held accountable, that your weaknesses and your failures aren't going to be held against you. How can that play in though when you really want to build a culture of competition? So how do you break it down to where the culture is a foundation of trust, but you really do prioritize and put emphasis in that competition?
Sometimes we think that we should treat others the way that we want to be treated, but in actuality, you've got to treat others the way that they want to be treated. So you really have to focus on their needs. And if you have that really great listener friend, are you a good listener? If you have a really outgoing friend that likes to do a lot of things, but that's not typically you, are you willing to go ahead and go on their adventures with them?
At the end of the day, all humans want to feel like they matter. All humans have the same needs. Everybody likes to be valued, seen, and supported, but it's up to you to figure out how they receive that best. It's not the same way.
Instagram, we are constantly bombarded with other people's successes and other people's achievements and everybody's highlight reels. So comparison to others is a real factor in our mindset. And if we can't look at other people's successes and wins as inspiration or motivation, that's where it becomes toxic and dangerous. And it's really important to realize that other people's successes, their achievements, have nothing to do with your ability for your successes or your achievements. So really protect your emotional bandwidth on if you're not there yet to see other people succeed, if it does not feel good. If you're still in comparison mode, then you need to put boundaries and limits up. If you can't be inspired by it, then you don't need to see it, honestly. Instead of aiming for perfection, aim for the experience. So when it doesn't work out, you're able to reflect on why, how, what could you do better? So once you've decided to take the risk
then the reward is learning from that.
Thing is, if I ask you what daddy issues mean, you all know what that means, right? Somebody who was not fulfilled, was not supported by the father in their life. If you think of yourself as a CEO, as the father figure of your family, and make sure that you're giving your team and your family the support, the validation, and the encouragement they need so that they don't have daddy issues. Afraid of failure is not something that is healthy. It's something that you need to be able to realize that you get to learn from, that failing at something is a learning opportunity. At the boardroom, it's not the goal to be the smartest person in the room. It's the goal to learn from the smartest people in the room. And if we take that mindset of we always can learn and grow, that helps us.
A marathon or a triathlon or a 5K, the ones that finish last, that crawl past that finish line, hop, wobble over that finish line, are just as celebrated as the person that finished first. I've also never been a witness to a race where the person that crosses the finish line turns around and is like, suckers, you all suck, I am awesome. No, they don't. Because they know how hard it is to get where they get, and their competition is with themselves. So
I am from Utah, but I'm originally from Florida. I moved to Utah about 10 years ago, and
Dominant personality styles struggle with vulnerability. A small practice in vulnerability is giving compliments. If you see it, say it. And women in particular that are dominant, decisive, assertive, they get mislabeled as aggressive. So it's even more important to you to become more vulnerable. Give more compliments, give more positive feedback so people appreciate the assertiveness and don't label you as aggressive. Commonality in human nature is that people are drawn to people like them. People are comfortable around other people like them because people want to be comfortable. So that is what effective communication does. It helps you to assess the comfort level, the value system of somebody else, the communication style, so that you become a comfortable person to be around so that they feel safe and they feel heard and they feel validated. That's the main goal of effective communication, not to have to change yourself, but to be able to use your strengths, your talents to make others bring out the best in themselves too.